नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं वाचं ततो जयमुदीरये जितं ते पुण्डरीकाक्ष नमस्ते विश्वभावन नमस्तेऽस्तु हृषीकेश महापुरुष पूर्वज सदक्षरं ब्रह्म य ईश्वरः पुमान् गुणोर्मि सृष्टिस्थितिकालसल्लयः प्रधानबुद्ध्यादिजगत्प्रपञ्चसूः सनोऽस्तु विष्णुर्मतिभूतिमुक्तिदः त्रैलोक्यमेतत् कृतकं मैत्रेय परिपठ्यते जनस्तपस्तथा सत्यम् इति च अकृतकं त्रयं कृतकाकृतयोः अकृतकयोः मध्ये महर्लोक इति स्मृतः शून्यो भवति कल्पान्ते यो अत्यन्तं न विनश्यति एते सप्त मया लोकाः मैत्रेय कथिताः तव पातालानि च सप्तैव ब्रह्माण्डस्य एष विस्तरः एतद् अण्डकटाहेन तिर्यक् च ऊर्ध्वम् अधस्ततः कपित्थस्य यथा बीजं सर्वतो वै समावृतम्. So this entire Brahmanda is covered with an andakataham, that is, it is like an egg shell. So two parts of an egg, it is covered. It's actually in a horizontal manner, not in a vertical manner as you know, but then andakataha katahena tiryak urdhvam adaha cha, both on top and bottom or on sides. It is in a way it is like the vlambaram madri irukku abdingrom. So it is like a kapitha phalam, right? Samavritam. Now beyond that there are 7 kinds of avaranas around this brahmandam. So in a remember the Srishti Krama that we studied, wherein Prakriti, from the Prakriti you had the first creation which was Mahat Tattvam, then you had Ahankara, 3 types of Ahankara, which is Sattvika, Rajasika and Tamasika. So but then it was just one Ahankara. Then you had the Panchabhutas, right? So in that process you actually, the Brahmandam is covered by those 5 bhutas, and then you have Ahankara, Mahattattvam, and then Prakriti. This is how the Avaranam goes. You know, everything collapses into one small thing, and as it expands into one big circle, wherein all of those which are there start becoming bigger and bigger, and then you have the Andam which is inside, and inside that Brahmandam we are all present. So around that Brahmandam you have something called Avaranani. There are Sapta Avaranam, 7 types of items which are surrounding this Brahmandam. And Purusha or Vishnu is beyond this also. Right? Atyatishtat. He is beyond all of this. Dasha angulam ityuktam khalu. Tari dasha angulam tatra, you take that 10 measurement here for each avaranam. So dasha uttarena payasa maitreya andam cha tadvrutam sarvaha ambu paridhanaha aso vanhina pariveshtitaha bahihi. So dasha uttarena payasa andam tadvrutam. Tad andam, tad brahmandam tu atra payasa vritam vartate. So andam tat, tad brahmandam adhuna, whatever we have said, that is sapta loka chaturdasha bhuvanani iti uktam. So there are 7 lokas, bhur bhuvaswaha maha janaha tapaha satyam, and then you have atala vitala sutala iti patalam paryantam tatra sapta adholokaha api santi. So there are totally 14 worlds which is now covered by a shell kind of thing, that is called the Brahmandam. Tat andam. Now this andam refers to all of the 2-3 chapters that he has mentioned earlier. Okay. So tat andam vritam, it is surrounded by dasha uttarena, by 10, you if the Brahmandam measure is 1, you take the ratio as 1:10. ஸோ 10 பங்கு உங்களுக்கு வந்து சுற்றி இருக்குன்னு அர்த்தம். அதுதான் தச உத்தரேன இத்தியுக்தே. இட் இஸ் நாட் ஜஸ்ட் 10 kilometers or 10 miles or anything. It is covered, surrounded by water 10 times what this Brahmandam expanse is. So the water which surrounds this Brahmanda is 10 times more than the expanse of the Brahmandam itself. So dasha uttarena, by 10 times beyond this Brahmanda, this andam is surrounded by vritam, it is surrounded by payasa, water. the clue for all of this is you'll have to look at both Vamanavataram and in the Shiva when he creates this Potramaraikulam in south, in Madurai. In Madurai, there is a Hemabjini lake which was created in Madurai. And when Parameshwara was asked to create a lake near the Sundareshwara's temple, there he immediately struck his shulam so hard that it went and hit the Avarana Jalam. It hit the Adhaha Kataham. And from there the water started coming out. So the lake in Madurai, the Hemabjini Suvarna Padmini lake, is supposed to be filled with the Avarana Jalam. That is why it is extremely Shuddham. And there are no aquatic animals in that water. We don't know. There are no fishes in that tank at all. That is why. Because it is that Avarana Jalam that has come into that tank. The other thing is Ganga Utpatti. When there are two versions of it. When during Vamanavatara, when Vishnu hit the Swargam, his leg went up to Satyalokam. It also hit the Avaranam beyond the Brahmandam, and from the Avarana Jalam that fell onto the toe of Vamanavatara, and it started flowing as Ganga. This is one of the version. The other version is when Vishnu's leg went to the Satyalokam, Brahma with his Kamandalu, he did Pada Puja for Trivikramavatara, and that Jalam which came from Brahma's Kamandalu connected with it. Of course, the Avarana Jalam also came there, and that is the Ganga which has the presence of the Trimurti, Vishnu Padachyuta Devi, and she is also the water that came from Brahma's Kamandalu. She fell onto Shiva's head also. So she has the presence of all three. Now, these two incidents give us a clue that the Brahmandam is filled with water on its surface, right? That is, it is not filled, sorry. It is surrounded by water. So, tat andam dashottarena payasa vritam. It is surrounded by water. Sarvaha ambuparidanaha asau. This covering of water, Sarvaha, this entire covering of water, is again bahihi veshtitaha. It is again surrounded outside by fire. The avaranam for jalam is fire. So you'll have to go by the elements one by one here. So you have Prithvi, then up, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha. You'll have to go one by one there. Okay. Vanhischa Vayuna, Vayuhu Maitreya Nabhasa Vritaha. Vanhihi, the surrounding, the covering of fire is covered again by Vayu. Vayu is covered by Akasham, Nabhasa Vritaha. Bhutadina Nabhaha Sopi Mahata Pariveshtitaha. Nabhaha, the Akasha Pariveshtanam, Akasha Veshtanam, Avaranam, is surrounded by Bhutadi. Bhutanam Adihi Ahankaraha. So Ahankarena, which is another Tattvam which came out of Prakriti, that Ahankarena Pariveshtitam Nabhaha. Okay. So api Saha Bhutadihi api Mahata Pariveshtitaha, Mahattatvena Pariveshtitaha. This Bhutadi or Ahankara Tattvam is covered on all sides by Mahattattvam. Dasha Uttarena Asheshani Maitreya Etani Saptavai. These 7 avaranas. So Mahattattvam, Ahankaraha, Akasha, Vayu, Vanhi, Ambu. Right? These are, and then Prithvi, of course. So Prithvi Rupam, you take it as that Anda Kataham, the outside shell of the Brahmandam, as Prithvi Tattvam. Okay? Then beyond that is your Ambu Tattvam, up water, right? So you have 7 avaranas like this. You have the 5 Panchabhutani, Tadanantaram Ahankaraha, which is Bhutadihi. Then you have Mahattattva. So these are the 7 Etani Saptavai Maitreya Asheshani Dasha Uttarani. You have to take it as 10 times further and further away. Okay? Ratio la potukkanum nama. So Dashottarani Aseshani Maitreya Etani Saptavai. Mahantam cha samavritya. Now beyond Mahattattvam, Mahantam samavritya, surrounding this Mahatattvam, Pradhanam samavasthitam. Pradhana exists surrounding this Mahattattvam. Pradhanam is equal to Prakriti, and that is Maya Shakti. It is the Prakriti, that is Avyaktam. It is also called Avyaktam or Prakriti or Pradhanam. These are other names for this Pradhanam which surrounds this Mahattattva. Anantasya na tasya antaha sankhyanam chapi vidyate. Tasya anantasya pradhanasya. It is also called Ananta here because it doesn't have any antam. There is no end to this Pradhanam or Prakriti. Tasya antaha na vidyate. There is no end to this. Sankhyanam chapi na vidyate. There is no அதாவது கணக்கு இல்லைன்னு அர்த்தம். You cannot count the so when you talk about the each avaranam, you say dasha uttaram iti. So you give a ratio of 1:10 for each of these avaranas that are present beyond the Brahmandam, right? But when you get to the Prakriti which surrounds this Mahattattvam, you can't say that it is 1:10. तथा नास्ति तत्र यतः प्रधानं तु तत्र अनन्तः वर्तते संख्यानमपि नास्ति. So you cannot give a measurement for that expanse of that pradhanam because there are so many different brahmandas in that pradhanam prakriti. That it is like the entire universe which is beyond our conception here. Tadantam asankhyata pramanam chapi vai yataha हेतुभूतम अशेषस्य प्रकृतिः सा परा मुने. हे मुने मैत्रेय तद अंतम असंख्यात प्रमाणम यतः. यतः because of the fact that tad antam, that prakriti is antam, pradhanasya antam tu asankhyaata pramanam. Pramanam, its measure is asankhyaata, it cannot be counted. The end of this pradhanam cannot be counted. Because of this fact, we understand that sa eva para prakritihi vartate ya asheshasya hetubhuta. Asheshasya hetubhutam pradhanam eva prakritihi ityapi uchyate. So this is the hetu or karanam for everything in this world, everything conceivable, inconceivable, whatever. If someone comes about with something else, that is also within the realm of Prakriti here. That is why Prakriti, being the Karanam for everything, she is Para. Prakriti is Para. Andanam tu sahasranam sahasrani ayutani cha idrishanam tatha tatra koti koti shatani cha. ईदृशानाम अंडानाम सहस्राणाम अंडानाम सहस्राणि अयुतानि च तत्र वर्तन्ते. He is trying to say about how big that Prakriti is, how immeasurable, or it is difficult for us to even understand the expanse of this Prakriti. So, how is it? Sahasranam andanam, idrishanam sahasranam andanam. Idrishanam ityukte purvokta trichatur adhyayeshu yadyaduktam tat sarvam tu ekasmin ande vartate. Tari, there are so many different brahmandas in this format. Idrishanam. Idrik ityukte in the same manner as we have spoken in this few adhyayas. Idrishanam andanam. Sahasranam, there are thousands of such andas. Maybe there are even sahasrani, thousands of such 1,000 andas. 1,000 into 1,000 you have. Or ayutani, 10,000s of such 1,000 brahmandas. Or koti koti shatani. It's because he cannot give a number. It is easier in Purusha Suktam where he said, that Sahasra Shirisha Purushaha, Sahasra Akshaha, Sahasra Pat, Sabhumim Vishwato Vrutva, Atyatishtat Dashangulam. It's so much easier, simpler, but Parāśara is trying to give the effect of that, the macro level that we are talking about. He wants to give that effect to Maitreya. So he keeps dishing out numbers like this: koti, crores, koti shatam, 100 crores. You take the numbers, whatever number you want, everything would fit into that huge prakriti that we are talking about. So that is why we say anantaha sankhyanam chapi na vidyate antaha na vidyate tasya pradhanasya iti. So andanam tu sahasranam sahasrani ayutani cha idrishanam tatha tatra koti koti shatani cha vidyante iti. You take the kriyapadam as vidyante. There are so many crores of brahmandas within that prakriti. Daruni. Now, from here, he talks about the principle behind this entire thing. See, it is easier sometimes to just understand what is the Moola Karanam for everything. Then it's easier, right? You will understand any different formation that comes out of that Moola Karanam. For example, if you want to understand gold, if you want to understand the property of, say, wood, what would you look at? You will not look at the different transformations of the wood, but you will look at the source of the wood, which is probably a tree or something else. Or you will look at the source gold, which is 24 karat gold. If you know that, then you will understand all of the different transformations that have happened before, that are happening now, and that could happen possibly later also, because you know the source very well. So for this entire Brahmandam and the Brahmandam beyond this Brahmandam and the Prakriti, everything, if you want to know the Tattvam behind all of those, or if you want to understand the Vyakta Rupam, you will have to go into the Tattvam behind all of this. So he is describing the Tattvam behind all of this, which is Vishnu. Daruni Agnihi Yata Tailam Tile Tadvat Pumanapi Pradhane Avastitaha Vyapi Chetanatma Atma Vedanaha. Now, to activate all of these things, you need a Chaitanyam, a consciousness. And that consciousness is something that gives a Rupam to everything. So, Daruni Agnihi Yata Vartate. Daruni, in a wood, there is a spark of Agni inside it. That is, in the sense, there is no Agni there. If there is Agni, then it would have been destroyed completely. That's not what he is trying to say. He is saying that there is that Daha Shakti inside a piece of wood. So, Daruni, Agnihi Yatha Tishtati. When there is an external force of an Agni, it automatically it completely envelops the entire wood. How is it able to? We light only one portion of that wood, but the entire wood gets that Agni. How is it able to get it? It's because it has that Daha Shakti inside the entire wood. Dharuni Agnihi Yatha Bhavati. Just as how there is the fuel element madri. Agni is just an element there that is present inside a daru, inside a wood. Tailam tile tadvat. Just as how there is tailam, oil inside sesame seed, tilam. Where is that oil inside the sesame seed? We don't know. We can't say it is only in this portion. It is only in this portion. Tatha nasti. Kalu? The oil pervades the entire tilam, entire seed, sesame seed. Tadvat, in the same manner. Pumanapi, you can't say Chaitanyam is only present in this particular aspect. Buddhau eva vartate, manasi eva vartate, atra daharaka. Tatha nasti. It is all pervasive. If it is only in one section, how is the hand able to act? Then the hand is equal to a shava here. If it is only in one portion of the body, so that is why you have to accept the fact that this Atma is sarvavyapi. So tadvat pumanapi. Puman ityukte atra Atma Surupam. Jivaha. So Atma is present pradhane avastitaha vyapi. Vyapi, it is enveloping the entire pradhanam and it is present in this pradhanam. Pradhanam is your maya or ajnana, jagat, everything. Chetanatma, that is it is an Atma which has the quality of being Chetanam, consciousness, that gives that consciousness to everything else. How do we understand it? Do we need another consciousness to understand this Atma? किमपि अन्यत् चैतन्यस्य आवश्यकता वर्तते वा? नास्ति. आत्मवेदनः स्वयं प्रकाशः. अதாவது it is like a torchlight. So just as how you don't need another torchlight to understand where this torchlight is, you have switched on the light, you have put it inside the box, it has to reveal itself, that's all. So if you want the torchlight to reveal itself, it is a swayam prakasha swarupa, something like that. So atma vedanaha, one has to understand oneself. Nobody has to come and tell me that you exist. Yeah, each one has that consciousness that we exist. There is nobody has to come and tell us. So atma eva atmanam vetti, atma vedanaha swayam prakasha swarupa. So daruni agnihi yatha tailam tile tadvat pumanapi pradhane avasthitaha vyapi chetanatma atma vedanaha. These are the definitions of atma, puman or purusha. Pradhanam cha pumanschaiva. This is where our Parāśara gives a different, that is he borders on Sankhya Tattvam here in this shloka. Pradhanam cha pumanschaiva sarva bhutatma bhutaya Vishnu Shaktya Mahabuddhe Vritau Samshraya Dharmino. Now, if you take Puman as Ishvara and Pradhanam as the Shakti, then there is a Parabrahma Swarupam and a Vishnu Shakti beyond this, it seems. He takes on Sankhya Tattvam and goes one level beyond there to explain Vishishtadvaita here. See, when you, in Advaitam it is very clear. Here, Pradhanam cha Pumanscha. Pumana ityukte, you take it as Ishvara Swarupam, which has the Chaitanyam and Pradhana, they both are combined here. So you take that Puman as the Virat Purusha, who is present with the Pradhana. So Vishwarupa Swarupam. It's very easy. Sarva Bhuta Atma Bhutaya. Ingyada, he differentiates and goes into Vishishtadvaita Tattvam, wherein he says, this Puman Sarva Bhutatma Bhutaya Vishnu Shaktya Eva Vrutau. These two concepts are completely surrounded by Vishnu Shakti or Vishnu Maya. Vishnu eva Parabrahma Swarupaha. அதாவது பிரதானத்துக்கு தாண்டி மாயாங்கிறத சொல்றோம். You differentiate between Pradhana and Vishnu Shakti, which is Maya, and you say these two are different. It is because of Vishnu Shakti that this Pradhanam acts. அப்படி இங்கே பிரிக்கிறார். See, most cases we have been seeing that Pradhanam is equal to Prakriti, which is the same as Maya, which is the same as Shakti. We have seen these four as Paryayavachi Shabda. But here he talks about the core Vishishtadvaita Tattva, wherein you have Prakriti, you have Puman, these two are Chaitanyam, and you have the Ajnanam or Maya, everything is fine. But then these two come together or they go away from each other because of Vishnu Maya acting on it. Vishnu Maya or Vishnu Shakti is Paravasudevasya Shakti Tattva. Chariya? Hope it's clear. So Pradhanam cha Pumanschaiva Sarva Bhutatma Bhutaya Vishnu Shaktya. Now this Vishnu Shakti is the same that is the Antaryami behind the Jiva Tattvam inside everybody's body. Vishnu Shaktya Vritau. This Pradhanam and Purushaha or Jiva Tattvam, both these are Vritau, they are covered by Samshraya Dharminau, by Vishnu Shakti. Because these two, what is the dharma, what is the relationship between Pradhanam, Puman and this Vishnu Shakti? Vishnu Shakti is that which which inspires these two to behave in a certain manner. Niyamya Niyantra Bhavena Sthitau. These two, Pradhanam and Purusha, are present in the sense of being niyamya. These are being controlled by Vishnu Shakti, which is the niyanta. Clear arka? Hope so. Samshraya garche mixing nartham. Here you take it as in what bhava are they present. What is the relationship between the two of them? Tayoho saiva saeva tayoho saeva prithakbhava karanam samshrayasya cha kshoba karana bhuta cha sargakale mahamate. He mahamate Maitreya, saeva sa Vishnu Shaktihi eva. Now this Vishnu Shakti is the reason for Purusha and Puman to either come together or go away from each other. It depends depending on Pralaya Kalam, Srishti Kalam, Sarga Kalam, etc. Sthiti Kalam, whatever. Now, Sridhara Swami has one kind of explanation, Vishnu Chitta has another kind of explanation. I just brought in both because it gives us a perspective about both Shuddhadvaita and Vishishtadvaita in this shloka. These two are important concepts here. So Vishnu Shakti becomes the reason for the Jiva Tattvam, that is Jivatma, and its Ajnanam, which is the Pradhanam, to be separate during Pralaya Kala. Only when they come together, Srishti happens. When they mix together or they are acting towards each other, they are constantly in motion. இந்த ஒரு இது மாதிரி cycle madri, if they are constantly working together, then it is sthiti kalam. The moment there is just an activity starting, that is your kshoba karanam, which is sarga kalam, srishti kalam. So how does Sridhara Swami interpret this? He says sarga kale sa Vishnu Shaktihi eva tayoho pradhana purushayoho pumamsoho kshoba karana bhuta bhavati. She is the person who creates an activity in both of them. Until that Vishnu Shakti is there behind these two cannot even act for Srishti. So tayoho pradhana purushayoho Vishnu Shaktihi eva kshoba karana bhuta bhavati. It is the reason for these two to start acting. That is your Srishti kala. Now what happens after Srishti has happened? Now how do these two interact? They are in constant motion with each other. So samshrayasya karanam bhavati saeva. So tayoho samshrayaha ityukte mishranam. They are in constant connection with each other. Okay. Now the next is laya karanam. Now prithak bhava karanam. That is during pralayam. So pralaya kale tayoho pradhanasya purushasya cha prithak bhavaha bhavati. That is, they completely separate each other from each other and they are present separately, so that there is no connection and creation that happens, which is pradhanam and prakriti are present within the Vishnu Maya as separate entities without any srishti happening. Okay, this is Pralaya Kalam. This is how Sridhara Swami looks at it. But if you look at the way Vishnu Chitta explains it, he is talking about a micro level, that is Jivatma level. Whereas Sridhara Swami is talking about a macro level, Virat Purusha level. That's all. He is talking about the Samashti, whereas our Vishnu Chitta is only talking about the Vyashti, which is the Jivatma. He says Prithak Bhavaha ityukte mokshaha. So there is a moksha for the jiva wherein he is separate from the pradhana. He understands that the jivatma is different from the pradhanam, maya, and everything else in this world is maya kalpitam. And so the jiva separates himself from this, and that is the moksha swarupa. So Vishnu Maya eva tatra mokshasyapi karana rupena vartate. Okay. Then what happens? Samshrayaha. Vishnu Maya, Vishnu Leela, Vishnu Sankalpena eva tatra Jivatma. He connects himself with this world, Prakriti, and a bandha is created. Samsara bandhastu tatra jivasya katham bhavati Vishnu Maya prabhavena eva. So Vishnu Shakti prompts a connection between the Jivatma and the Prakriti and makes him be bound in this world. So bandha. The kshoba karanam is the same. Srishti happens because of Vishnu Maya. So everything rests in the Vishnu Shakti. Tayoho saeva prithak bhava karanam samshrayasya cha karanam क्षोभकारणभूता च सर्गकाले महामते. Yeah. यथा सक्तं जले वातः बिभर्ति कणिकाशतं शक्तिः सा अपि तथा विष्णोः प्रधानपुरुषात्मकं. विष्णोः सा शक्तिः अपि बिभर्ति pradhanam purushancha bibharti. Now, just because she has pradhana and purusha within herself, does it mean that she is connected with these two? No. Those two are connected with each other. But it does not connect itself with the Shakti, Maya, Vishnu Shakti. So, Vishnoho Shaktihi sa api pradhana purushatmakam tatha bhavati. It has pradhana and purusha within it. Just as how, he gives a beautiful example here. You go near an ocean or you go to a river from where there is a lovely sweet breeze that is coming in, very beautiful breeze, cool breeze. But why is it cool? It is cool because it carries water particles within it. Those water particles are present in the water. So you have the water and the particles. Those two are connected with each other, but they are not connected with the wind that carries it. The wind can carry any number of things, but it is not affected by the water particles. When we feel cool wind, it is only the water particles that we feel, or the atmospheric change which brings in that change, and there are water particles which bring about that coolness in our body. So vataha jale saktam kanika shatam bibharti. Vataha, just as how the wind bibharti, it carries jale saktam kanika shatam. It carries the water, the shatam, hundreds of droplets which are saktam, which are connected inside or which are completely attached in the water. Just as how in the Padmapatra Ivambasaha. Yeah. In Gita also you have this example wherein there is a lotus leaf and water droplets are sliding across that lotus leaf without even touching that lotus leaf. Tadha atrapi vataha, the wind carries the water, but then it is not attached to that water. There is another explanation also. Pathabedaha yatha saktam jale vataha bibharti kanikashatam ityasti jale vidyamanam kanikashatam asaktam sat vataha bibharti iti. The meaning is the same. Without getting attached to the hundreds of water droplets that are in the water, the wind just blows over the water and comes to us, giving us just that Shitattvam.
யதா சைத்தியம்னு இருக்கு என் புஸ்தகத்துல.
சைத்தியம்னு எடுத்து அது மூணாவது ரீடிங் அது போடணும்னு நினைச்சேன் அடுத்தது. ஸோ யதா சைத்தியம் ஜலே வர்த்ததே ததா கிந்து வாதா பிபர்த்தி. The wind which blows, we say that it is bringing on the coolness, shaityam iti. So, but what is that shaityam? Shaityam is not there in vataha. There is no sparsha, there is no coolness or anything in that. It is only present in the water. As it brings the water, the coolness which is present in the water seems to be carried by the wind, but it is not actually carried by the wind. So sa tatha, in the same manner, Vishnoho Shaktihi api pradhana purushatmakam brahmandam vahati. Okay, it carries both this pradhanam and the purusha without getting attached to these two. So the Vishnu Shakti is something that is unattached and beyond this prakriti and purusha. यथा च पादपः मूलस्कन्धशाखादिसंयुतः आदिबीजात् प्रभवति बीजानि अन्यानि वै ततः प्रभवन्ति ततस्तेभ्यः सम्भवन्ति अपरे द्रुमाः ते अपि तल्लक्षणद्रव्यकारण अनुगताः मुने. हे मुने, यथा, just as how, now he gives another perspective to this. One is asaktam sat, the Vishnu Maya is completely different from this. Now you have, but it is also responsible for so many things which you will never find in that bijam. You have one seed Adi Bijam, there is one primordial seed, let's say the first Bijam that was there, probably. From that Adi Bijat Prabhavati Padapaha. There is a tree that comes out of one first Bijam, one first seed. And that Padapa, that tree, has so many different branches. Moola, it has roots. Skandha, it has a trunk. And then Shakhadi Samyutaha, Shakha, it has branches. Adipadena, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Ityadikam. So you can take all of those, whatever that comes out of Patram, Pushpam, Phalancha. Only three. Yeah. Samyutaha, it is connected, it is made up of all of these things, including roots, trunk, branches, everything else. From this Adi Bijateva Padapaha Prabhavati. Tataha, from those fruits, you have Anyani Bijani. There are other seeds also that come out of this Adi Bijam. Tataha Tebhyaha Bijebhyaha. From those different bijas, from those different seeds, apare drumaha sambhavanti, prabhavanti. Or tataha prabhavanti, anyani bijani tataha prabhavanti. Ipdi taniya potundrugo. You take this prabhavanti to connect with the earlier shloka as part of that sentence. So tataha adi bijateva athava padapat anyani bijani prabhavanti. From that tree, other seeds come about. Tataha tebhyaha bijebhyaha apare drumaha sambhavanti. Other trees are also born out of those seeds. Te api drumaha, and those trees also tallakshana dravya karana anugataha. They have the anugataha. They follow their karanam. They follow their lakshana dravya karanam. So they follow the source dravyam from which they came. That is the padapam. Yeah. Tallakshana 33ல அழகா பிரிச்சு போட்டிருப்பார். Tallakshana பூர்வத்ரும சஜாதீயம். Whatever was the first atra prathamam padapaha ityasti khalu tadeva tat ityanena swikartavyam. So tat ityukte prathama padapam. So tasya padapasya पूर्वद्रुम सजातीयं तल्लक्षणेनैव द्रव्याः. What are the other dravyani? The other chutadi dravyam. The next set of trees that come about also have the same lakshanam as the first prathama drumam. So tallakshana, tat prathama drumasya lakshana yuktani अन्ये द्रुमाः ये सन्ति ते एव द्रव्याणि तेषां द्रव्य कारण अनुगताः. So they are actually तदेव कारणं भवति तद अनुगताः. Now these drumas, these trees that have come about following the first tree, those trees are now following the same pattern as the earlier tree. இதெல்லாம் language difference. When you understand the concept, it is very easy. From the first bijam, there came about one tree. From that tree, you had so many different seeds. From those seeds, each one gave rise to another tree, and each of those trees will again give rise to many seeds. They follow the principle, cause. That's all there is to the concept as such. Language analysis அழகுதானே, அதனால சொல்றேன். தல்லக்ஷண திரவிய காரண அனுகதாக தே துருமாக அபி பவந்தி. So those trees also become cause in turn, just as how the earlier tree was. Yeah. I think we'll stop with this. Narayanam namaskritya naranchaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vacham tato jayamudírayet. சந்தேகம் இருக்கா? Any doubts?
மகோதயா, உங்களோட அந்த 25th ஸ்லோகத்துல ஒரு ஸ்பெல்லிங் மிஸ்டேக் எதர் ஏன் புக்லையா இல்ல உங்களுதையான்னு தெரியல. யூ செட் தஷா பட் இட் சேஸ் தேஷா. இது இந்த லாஸ்ட் லைன்
தேசோத்தரேனா நான் தான் தப்பா போட்டிருக்கேன்.
இல்ல தேசோத்தரம் தசோத்தரம் தான் என்னோட புஸ்தகத்துல இருக்கு. நீங்க அதுதான் சொன்னேன், பட் இட் இஸ் ரிட்டன் தேசோத்தரம்னு. அது
நான் இங்க தப்பா எழுதியிருக்கேன். மை ஸ்பெல்லிங் மிஸ்டேக். நான் அவசரத்துல when I do this நிறைய கோட்டை விடுறேன். ஆமா.
I thought before you
உங்களோட தான் அத்தாரிட்டின்னு ஒவ்வொரு தரமும் சௌமியா மேடம் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கா.
அவ
புக்ல
சொல்லுவா.
ஏதான தப்பு இருந்ததுன்னா நீங்க அது பார்க்காதீங்கோ, விசாலாட்சி பக்னி என்ன டைப் பண்ணியிருக்காளோ அதை மாத்திரம் பாருங்க அப்படின்னு. யூ ஆர் கோட்டட் அஸ் தி அத்தாரிட்டி. இல்ல
அது
சரியாவும் இருக்கு. ப்ராப்ளி
ஆமா.
கிளாஸ் அப்ப நீங்க சரி பண்ணிட்டே,
ஆமா.
அதனால
நான் சொல்றச்சே
பக்காவாவும்
கரெக்டா
இருக்கு.
சொல்றேன். ஆனா இதுல ஸ்லைடு எல்லாம் தப்பா எழுதியிருக்கேன். அதுதான்.
இல்ல I thought before you upload it to YouTube you can at least
Yeah, definitely. I will
try
change
it.
that.
அதான்
ஆமா.
சொன்னேன். Yeah. Yeah.
And இந்த டிஸ்கஷனும் இருக்கும் யூடியூப்ல. அதனால people பார்த்துப்பா.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Namaskar. Pranam.